Hi guys, this is how we're going to paint our Ted Harrison inspired landscapes. If you look at the colors that he chooses, he uses a lot of really bright colors, and the way to get these really bright colors is to mix any color on your tray with white. And another thing to note is that each section is its own color. Even if there's two purples next to each other, you have a darker purple and a lighter purple. And same thing with these student samples. Each section is a different color, even with something like these darker blues and lighter blues together. So you should have had already drawn your landscape. And one thing I'm really looking for is neatness. Please work together as a table to keep your colors fairly clean. This is not my most perfect tray, but it's still some that I could work with. I could still pull some white out of this blue, some yellow, even though there's red there. But I'm going to remind you that we mix colors onto a magazine page and that we clean our brush with water every single time we change colors. So let's begin. I'm going to start at the bottom part right here, and I've decided I want to use this part to be different shades of purple. I don't have purple on my tray, so I'm just going to get a little bit of blue. I'm going to put it on the magazine page, be clean my brush, and I'm going to get some red. And looking at this, I feel like I need more red. So I'm just gonna get some from my tray, and then I'm just gonna mix on the magazine page. And because this feels a little dark, let me clean my brush again. I'm gonna add a lot of white. So let me pull some white here. And I kinda like that there's a little bit of blue here. And then I'm gonna mix. I might add a little bit more red. There. And then what I'm doing first is having my hand close to the metal part of the brush so I have a lot of control. So I'm painting one section, staying inside the lines, and I'm really stretching out the color as much as I can. There's a lot more paint on the brush than we think. So I'm just gonna really stretch it out. And we get a little bit more. And try to cover most of these white spots. There. Now I want to do the next section, which I want to make a different shade of purple. So one thing I'm going to do is clean my brush. Get more white, and then mix it in with these colors that I did. And then I'm gonna paint this section right here. Going neat, staying inside the lines. If I'm closer to the other color, I'm just gonna carefully paint next to it. One thing I want you guys to remember is if you were to look over there towards the back of the room where you have those blue dots, we want to have 3 and 4 painting, meaning that our painting is inside the lines, we're neat, we're not just making a mess just to make a mess. So here I got this part. Now I'm gonna change this purple that I already have. I'm gonna clean my brush. Add a little of this turquoise. I'm gonna put it in my mixture. And then I'm gonna paint this part right here. So I have a different purple. so that you can tell the difference between this purple and this purple. So I'm gonna add a little bit more white. And I actually want to add a little bit more red to that mixture that I did, so that it's more of a pinkish purple. I'm gonna put this one right here. And I'm noticing that this looks too similar to this purple next to it. So I'm just gonna get some of the other colors I have here and then add it to my mixture. Hopefully that will work. Nope, let me add a little more white. Here, a little bit better. So I have a lot of paint here. I'm gonna spread it out. And then there I have the front part of my painting. And the next part right here, that's gonna be water. So now I'm gonna time lapse that. For this part, we're going to pretend that the paint is dry because we want to outline our details with oil pastel so that the work could look neat and all of those different shapes and landforms that show up in Ted Harrison's artwork can really like pop out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick this red to go alongside the ground right here. I want a nice bold line. And then now I want to think of a color that would make this part pop out here. I want to see, I'm thinking yellow would work. Maybe it doesn't pop out so much. Let me try a purple. So I have this purple popping out right here. Yeah, this part got a little bit smudged, but that's okay. Then, let me see, what other color could I use to highlight those mountains? I'm gonna try this blue and see how it pops out. And then one thing I noticed is I made a mistake because I didn't line it up exactly. So I'm just gonna make this line a little bit thicker to kind of work around my mistake. See, because I didn't wait for the paint to dry, this little bit of orange smudge, but that's okay. Always fix that later. And I want to make those clouds pop. Let me try white. Maybe like coloring in that extra more. And then I'm gonna do white around the sun. So the goal with the oil pastels is making sure you use the oil pastel outlines to show where your different landforms are, and that's the very last step.